Joints Bonding, presented by Group 2. I am Carl Dominic Candia, the leader of Group 2, and in this video, we're gonna tackle the different things about joint bonding. But before we start, I would like to introduce my group members. Joel Cardona, Leonard Concepcion, Ivan Constantino, James Dagdagan, Gerson Galam, Daniel Giron, Adrian Edica, Ryan Lanes, and Victor Niserio.
Joint, a permanent joint between parts of machines, building structures, furniture, and products of light industry. Formed by an adhesive, it can hold together various materials, including materials of different types, by providing uniform distribution of stresses. Bonded joints are used in the fabrication of articles from steel, aluminum, brass, textile, micarta, glass, plywood, wood, cloth, plastic, cured rubber, and other materials that can be joined in various combinations. In the assembly of equipment, the construction of building such joints can replace welding and riveting.
Joint bonding process. Bolted joint. A bolted joint is the most common temporary joint used in the design of a system or machine. Like the name of the joint states, the joint uses a bolt and screw to connect the two parts. The size of the bolt is determined by the load required to ensure the connection is not severe during operation of the system. A bolt is inserted through a non-threaded hole drilled to the desired or engineered design, and then a nut with washer is screwed on the end of the bolt. This type of joint allows the maintenance department to easily disassemble the joint when necessary.
Screw joint. A screw joint is another temporary joint used to assemble two connections. This type of joint utilizes screw only and is inserted through a drilled hole of one arm of the connection. The other arm of connection point is drilled to the desired size and then tapped with the device that threads the hole to the same size as the screw. The screw is then inserted and tightened down through the drilled arm and into the top hole of the other arm of the connection. A screw joint is commonly used in soft metal connection, so work can easily be repaired, such as in aluminum joints.
Welded joint. A welded joint is a permanent joint that connects mechanical parts where disassembling is not necessary. The two arms of the connection are designed to insert into each other and then welded together. The type of weld is determined by the engineering department and is done by a certified welder. The welded joint is used on hard metal or steel joints where heavy loads are expected to put stress on the connection. Welded, the connection or mechanical joint does not allow for easy disassembly.
Soldering. Soldering is a process in which two or more items are joined together by melting and putting a filler metal into the joint, the filler metal having a lower melting point than the adjoining metal. Unlike welding, soldering does not involve melting the workpieces. In brazing, the workpiece metal also does not melt, but the filler metal is one that melts at a higher temperature than in soldering. In the past, nearly all solders contained lead, but environmental and health concerns have increasingly dictated use of lead-free alloys for electronics and plumbing purposes. So in soldering, it involves melting the filler metal or the solder to join the workpieces. Unlike in welding, it involves melting the workpieces to join them together.
Adhesive bonding. Adhesive bonding, also referred to as gluing, is a joining technique to join materials by applying an intermediate layer of adhesive or glues. The joining technique involves glues, epoxies, or various plastic agent that bond by evaporation of a solvent or by curing a bonding agent with heat, pressure, or time. Adhesive bonding is similar to soldering and brazing of metals in that a metallurgical bond does not take place through the surface. The joint may be heated, but they are not melted.
Here are some products of joint bonding. In the first picture, we can see a cell phone. We all know that cell phone are made of little things that is bonded together. Second one is motherboard. Motherboard is done by soldering process. And second one is car. And the last picture is construction. And that's the end of our presentation. Again, we are group 2.